up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King G on the house. I'm gonna put up a video, and after the video, I'm gonna make my comment, and I want to get your opinion. But viewer discretion is advised, and so just give me your opinion. And before I go into the video, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so, and hit that notification, that bell that you see right there. Hit that bell, and it'll notify you when I, King G, uploaded a video. All right, and don't forget, guys, I'm coming out with merch. I'm just doing some final touches on it, so you'll see something tonight. So you let me know how it looks, and we can go from there. But just watch the video and watch for my opinion.
Draco knock off a limb. I stopped having hoop dreams cause I couldn't take my Glock in the gym. I'm smoking exotic, this shit fluffy, they come with no stems. I jumped in water.
Hey, when you get onto this road, you gotta stay in your lane, man. You can't do that with the wide turns.
Paper, man. I ain't doing looking at my paper, checking up my paper. That's all I'm doing, boss.
Do you have your driver's license on you, my man?
Yeah, driving in circles. Just trying to get you through the parking lot. My bad, man. My bad. I got driver's license. I got everything. License, registration, I got everything. Man. Hey, Lord. Do what?
No, you good, you good.
You wouldn't put nothing under your seat when you're doing all that? No, sir. I don't put nothing under my seat for none of that, sir. I got no reason. I got no reason to be. I didn't do nothing. I was just for my papers. That's my papers, yes, sir.
You got your registration on you, Mr. Price?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm looking at now. I'm just looking at the paperwork. That's all I'm doing, man. Nothing wrong. Now you can look in here and everything, bro. Nothing in this car. What all your money falling out? It's coming out of your pocket right here. Leave that in here. That's all right. That's what I'm doing now. Paying bills, man. Go on my way to Founders, boss.
Going to Founders?
Yes, sir. That's what I was looking at. My Founders papers going to handle this shit.
All right, my man. Hang tight for me, all right?
Yes, sir. A lot of money on these left pockets.
.552 on channel 3. DL number 100347587. Again, 100347587. First name is Ricky, last name is Price. We'll check once a warrant with us in the county, please. What happened?
He said the dog will be here in a few minutes.
Okay, who said that?
Sorry.
Okay.
Talk to you, man.
Go ahead. All right.
just run the dog if you consent.
Yeah, they got the dog on the ray.
I don't care if you're black or white. Don't reach in the house. Okay, I understand it. I can't see where the hands are going. Do that. So don't do that again.
Ricky, you said that you're heading towards Founders?
I had a who?
You're going to Founders?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going to Founders. I got no reason to lie to you, man. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. I stopped, pulled over, told me to pull over, gave you my paperwork. I don't got no warrants on me. Okay. I ain't no criminal or no kind of way.
Okay.
I haven't did nothing to put myself to be no criminal.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, Ricky, just so you understand, the last time you and I had a conversation, we hit your house with SWAT on a narcotic search warrant. So we're gonna check this car with a dog, okay? As long as you're being straight up, I'll get you on out of here to Founders, okay?
I got no proper cause to search this car.
No, the dog is what gives us probable
But I
cause.
haven't gave you no consent to search this car.
You don't have to give us consent. You have enough criminal history for us to articulate why we're searching this vehicle with a dog. You get what I'm saying? So go ahead and step out from me.
What have I did?
Listen, Mr. Price, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna ask you again to step out your car. I already asked you kindly. The next time you're gonna get.
I'm getting out. I'm getting out, man. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Like I say, man, I haven't did nothing to nobody. I ain't got no proper cause to even be getting out my car. Yes, sir, man. I walk back here with you. Yeah, all right. Please, I get my license and stuff.
I can get that. You already got your license.
They're not going to agree with you.
I got your license.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I can call somebody. I got family.
Why you got to call somebody? You're not in trouble.
Price,
It don't matter.
go that way.
I want to make sure I get my phone and stuff. Yeah, man, let me get my stuff, man. I haven't did nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a criminal or nothing. Look, I got my papers. Yeah. Everything, bro.
They're just going to run the dog in the
You want whatever you want.
Reach on that front seat there and get the fuck out. I told him, I said, you ain't got no guns in here. And I just started digging around and goes right on that front seat. I said, dude, stop.
Yeah, he's moving around a lot, and then he's talking like that. So we're trying to figure out what the dog's gonna do once it circulates. Because you see how the top goes all the way back? That could be stuffed in. So with an alert, we're gonna roll it back.
Toss it back there.
All you do is close that move. We got an alert. Bomber. Alright, just make sure. I gotta get back to this. What's like a wad? Like over 1,000?
Over 1,000. Look like if it's all 20.
Oh, I got weed. Hey, Bonnie. Huh?
Ain't it a fine?
A fine?
Yeah. It's a fine.
It's a little different for you though.
Oh,
This is why we don't sell drugs.
How is it different from me? How is it different from
Is it enough to do distribution? Because he's got
With his history, we'll let narcotics handle that. Whole cash and phone. Pistol too? Pistol too?
I didn't know that was in there.
You didn't know?
That's why I told you not to.
Stop. Hey, my man.
He giving me a stop, man. You ain't gonna touch me. He giving me a stop. Yeah, he did, man.
You don't need to come to traffic stop. He got a gun on him. You ain't handing nothing. You understand what I'm saying? You want to come in.
I ain't doing nothing. He got that goddamn thing.
Don't push up on me, Joker. You ain't pushing up on me. You ain't pushing up on me. You ain't pushing up on me.
I ain't never shit, man. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not resisting, man. I'm not resisting.
You better stay your ass there.
I'm not resisting.
You ain't coming around. That's pushing up on me, boy. You ain't pushing up on me. You hear me? Fight. Fight with me. Fight. Fight. Look at me. Fight. Fight. It's just me and you, baby. It's just me and you. You going to jail. You move, that dog bites you. You understand me? You move.
No reason, dog.
Handcuff.
I'm not doing that. Why you being so fucking so aggressive, man?
Man, Joker, you bigger than me. Quit crying.
Yeah, I'm glad too, baby. I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing. He told me to come get his stuff. And you slam me all on the ground?
Nope.
Come on, man. I can't get up like this, man.
Listen to me, my man. Listen to me. He got a gun. Look at me. Look at me.
Let me up, man.
He's
Let me up.
a SWAT officer. I hit his house, and he's a dope dealer. You don't come into my investigation.
Man,
Does this look like a regular car?
I did not come into no investigation.
You going to jail.
Well, take me to jail. For nothing.
Disorderly conduct and pushing on the officer.
I did not push you. You pushed me, bro.
You can catch that assault battery all you want.
Man, you pushed me, man. Look at my jury, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah, man. Yeah, you pushed me. Yeah, man. That's who pushed me.
Put all your stuff over here, okay?
Hey, man, look. Get that ring.
Where? Put all your stuff together, okay, bud?
Hey, man, get my ring. Get this ring. Man, I ain't got nothing in my pocket.
I'll sit back. You're under arrest.
I go to jail.
You just need to calm down.
No, I wasn't even hyped, man. He slammed me all down, pushed my face all down on the ground. That ain't right.
Because you gotta worry about what.
Man, that dude told me to get it. That dude right there didn't act stupid.
Just gotta calm down.
Damn, man. Oh, man, look there. Look how y'all do his face. Look at my face. Come on, man. That ain't right.
Your face?
Man,
Ain't nothing happening to your face.
don't worry about it. See? Same thing, bro. You done slammed me all down on the ground, pushed my face all down, bro, for nothing, dog. Man, I don't want to hear that. You can't talk to me about that, bro.
I don't want to hear that.
You pushed my face all down in the ground for no reason, dog. And dude told me to get the stuff, and you sit right there and act like you was sitting right there. You ain't stopping. Look, man, please. It's all good. Old girl got it on what you call.
That dude ain't charging my traffic stop. You understand
It
that?
don't matter. That dude told me to come on, bro.
I'm over here pulling out guns out of a car. I can't even search the car because you worried about all that.
Call my mama, 777-2593 and tell her to come over here to the store. Police locked me up for nothing. Call 777-980-777-2593. Call right now, because I'm out here. They talking about they about to lock me up for nothing.
He's going with disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct. I ain't even done nothing, dog. You ran up on me, man.
You want to push up on me because you
I
thought...
did not push up on you. You pushed up on me, bro.
But you see,
you ran up on me,
It was
bro.
me the whole time, though.
Why you putting on my shirt? Why you putting on my shirt, bro?
I'm a grown man. I'm looking at you.
I'm a grown man, too.
Exactly.
I'm
You see, this is why you got locked up. You see what I'm saying?
No, you in my face, though.
That's my point.
You in my face.
You thought you were going to pug me.
Man,
boy,
you in my face, dog. I ain't around here. I don't give a fuck about that.
Exactly.
Man, get off
That's
me,
my
man.
point.
Just let me go. Just let me go. No, I didn't. Because I got stuff from you. That ain't right. That ain't right. Look.
Hey, there's two going. Two are going, and we'll get this car towed. So just so you know, I got the weed and the gun in Tom's car. Yes, sir. It's on my side.
I'm watching, baby. I'm watching. I'm here to watch.
He's already got a gun charge and weed, man.
I don't care about what no gun charge. Let me pick me up for no reason at all. The woman being recorded and everything.
Alright, we got this. Hey, Ganner.
Hey, I'm paying this car right here.
No, we're towing it, man.
What you towing it for?
Because
Because what? What you towing it for, though?
it's simple. We told him to stop moving. There's a gun in the car. There's weed in the car. We told him to get in the car.
Why did y'all pull him over? I was up
What
here
you
when y'all
pull him
why y'all
over?
pulled him
He's a
over?
grown man. He
Hey,
can
what
talk.
you,
He can talk
hey,
in
what
court.
did you pull him over for? What did you pull him over for? What did you pull him
Hey,
over for?
call me a tow truck for this?
What you pull him over for? I need to know.
I got it on my camera. I got it on my camera.
What you pull him over for?
He came, this man right here came from nowhere and jumped on the boy too.
Hey, start clearing the crowd.
I know. I'm glad you got it. I'm
And
finna
they
call
don't go to
girls.
jail, they go to jail.
Get out here.
Hey, tow truck for this if you can.
Yeah, this man right here.
Oh, you got him in?
I got Travis.
Yeah, take him in. Whoever's marked. That Kundi, are you free with a computer? Are you transporting one?
to transport Ricky.
Okay. I'll get Palmer to do it. Palmer.
Josh, when I saw you moving away from me, I went up there.
Huh? Yeah, that's fine. I just want them out of here. That way, they can go. We'll get up to Palmer. Don't worry about it, Gander.
Stuff on it.
So, you saw a video, and it's intriguing how the officer or the detective or whatever the hell you want to call this guy, because he shouldn't even be considered an officer of the law. How he took the law into his own hands. Number one, this is very important that you guys know the law. Number one, that police officer had no probable cause whatsoever to search his car. The reason that he gave was because we rolled up on you last week and we raided your house. Number one, if that was the case, he would remember his face from then. He was just told over the computer or over the radio that he was hit last week. Even then, that does not give him the right, or any officer the right, for probable cause. Just because a person was raided last week does not give an officer that he stopped them a week later, a month later, or 2 months later, whatever the case may be, gives him or her the right to search the car, because there is no probable cause. You caught me, I was zigzagging from lane to lane, and that's what you stopped me for. Okay, fine, I'm cooperating with you. Okay, so that's cool. But to say that you have the right to search my car when there is no probable cause, that's wrong. And even to say that the probable cause is because we raided your house last month or last week, that's even weaker. A good lawyer would get that shit thrown out of court, even if he had a gun case. He's gonna have a gun case now, but even if he had a gun in his car or whatever the hell that case may be, that does not give him probable cause. I mean, having a gun in the car, if you would have saw it, that's a whole different story. But that gun charge, all that can be thrown out of court just for the simple fact that there was no probable cause to search the car. That's unlawful search and seizure. That's plain and simple. Any lawyer can do that. Okay, so that's number one. The part that I got more offensive was when he grabbed the guy with the green shirt and he said, "You ain't pulling up on me, boy. You ain't pulling up on me." And he threw him on the floor and he said, "Come on, fight now, fight now." How is he gonna fight you when he's on cuffs, or he's about to be cuffed, and you calling him boy? That's I'm sorry to say that. That's a white man telling another black man or Hispanic man, "You a boy. Come on, boy." That's how, and this is this history. That's how white people talk to their slaves or to the people they own back in the day, back 400 years ago. They call them boy. Okay. So those are the parts that gets me angry the most, is that officers think they know the law. Here they are to protect and to serve, And they take the law, and I don't even know why they don't have them study it, and they abuse it just because he had you ran up on him last week doesn't give you probable cause to search his car. And then the guy in the green shirt, you rolled up on him, you push up on him because you saw in the video he didn't push up on you, and he's not resisting, and you're insulting him. Why don't you fight me? Come on, fight. Come on, boy. I don't like that. Those are cocky cops. I don't like that. You know, the narrative is that police officers are supposed to protect and to serve. These officers are not protecting and serving anything. Okay? If you look at it from one side, some people are saying, well, we got one drug dealer off the street. We got one gun off the street. You can look at it that way, but there is a way that you can go about that. Okay, there is a way that you can take this person off the streets. There is a way where you can say, you know what, you're a danger to society, and let the courts deal with him. There's a way to do that. There's a legal way to do that. The way they did this was illegal. The way they did this was, it's just not the right thing to do. And this is why when I love law, but this is the way that I don't. This is one of the reasons that I don't like the law now, because of people. I mean, officers like douchebag. I'm sorry, like officers like douchebag. I don't like people like that. You know, if the law applies, the law is supposed to apply to all, right? To everybody. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, your political affiliation. Anything. It doesn't matter anything. It's just that the law applies to each and every one of us. It's supposed to, actually, but I mean, it's supposed to, but it doesn't. It only applies to the officer when they think it's in their best interest, or when they want to stop a person of color, whether it's black, brown, it doesn't matter. And this gets tiring. This gets boring. This gets, it gets boring with the Karens of the world, and not the Karens, the men Karens of the world. This just gets disgusting. You just can't walk around anymore and pretend that something's gonna happen. I mean, I got stopped like a month ago because he said I was zigzagging. I don't know, and it was like around 11:30 at night. I came out of work, and in all my years of drinking, I never got stopped by a cop. And now that I'm sober, 8 years, I get stopped. So I mean, I was cool. I was like, oh man, this guy gonna do something stupid, because I live in a predominantly white in a white county. And I think there's maybe one black cop and one Hispanic cop, and that Hispanic cop is a detective. And I'm like, I hope you don't get stupid, because I don't have the tolerance for that. I really don't. Not at this time of age. I'm a type of person. I'm humble. I will give you the shirt off my back, and if you could try to take advantage of me. It's not gonna happen, but you can try. And even if you did something wrong to me, I still won't hold that against you, because that's the way who I am. But when it comes to law enforcement officers, or when it comes to anybody in the streets anyway, but when it comes to law enforcement, I won't let an officer touch me. If you touch me, we're gonna go all at it. And if I get shot, get shot. It is what it is. But that's not the way. I'm not saying that's what you should do. That's just me. But I respect the law. I respect men and officers who are doing the right thing, who are abiding the law, who are protecting the rights of the citizens of the United States or the county or whatever the case may be. But I don't like abusive officers. And those are the officers that needs to be weaned out. Those are officers that need to be taken out of the police force and let them do farm work. Let them do something that's more productive, because you don't need people with a gun and badge, or you don't need a person with a gun to go around parading that they're officers, and what they're doing is they're not upholding the law. And some people could say, this, and they can say that. They can say this, they can say that. But until that happens to that person, they will never know. I cannot. I would say 2 weeks ago, right here, right not too far, maybe I would say like 300, I was like 1,000 feet from here or more. There's a There's a river called the Dan River, and 4 people passed away, or 5. Those are the people that got caught, and the tubing here in North Carolina. And I've met the family members. I've met the sister who passed away. I mean, the sister who passed away. I met the mother of the young boy who passed away. And I cannot say, oh, I know how you feel, because I don't know. Because I've never been in that position. So I cannot say I can sympathize. I do have empathy for them. But I cannot say, well, I know how you feel, because I don't. I don't know how it feels to be berated by an officer. I don't know how it feels to be pushed by an officer. So I cannot say I know how it feels, but I don't want to be put in that position. So I don't give an officer that opportunity to put. You want my license? Go put my license. You want my registration? My registration. I do that. I abide, but I will not allow to escalate to that. I will try not to escalate to that point. So, but so when it doesn't happen to you, so you don't know. When it doesn't happen to you, you're like, oh, well, this person should be doing this, or this person should be doing that. This person, we always say the Owens of the world, and you know who we're talking about, Owen, right? C. Owens. So she always talk about black people who ain't getting in trouble if they did this, they do that, they did this, they did that. But she's not in those people's shoes. Most of these people that you see that get shot by officers, these black victims that get shot by officers, they're basically doing nothing. Look at that guy who got shot a year and a half ago in his car with his girlfriend and his baby in the back of the car. The girlfriend's telling him he got a gun. He's telling him, I have a gun. I have my permit. That was when the orientation guy shot the black guy. He has a permit, and he shot the guy inside his own car multiple times with a kid in the back. And this guy didn't even reach for his gun. Didn't reach for his gun. Okay? You have the Breonna Taylor who's innocently who had a search warrant and a search warrant who the judge should be held accountable for, because there was a bullshit search warrant, and they shot up Breonna Taylor on stupidity shit because they thought what this and that because they got shot at. Of course the guys are gonna shoot, because if you guys didn't identify, according to reports, if you guys didn't identify yourself, he has a gun. He's going to protect himself. You're banging on the door. You don't know who it is. So these are the injustices that we go in our society. The injustices that we go in only. You can only say this, ma'am. Only in America. Another day in America. There's not a day that goes by that we don't hear a cop doing something stupid. There's not another day that goes by that we see a senseless killing. I'm not gonna go by. I'm not gonna go here and tell you, oh yeah, but some black kills each other, and that's irrelevant. Okay, that's irrelevant here, because I know the Owens of the world and the Tuckers of the world and Taylor Greens of the world will give you that narrative. The Shapiro's of the world, no Shapiro, whatever his name is, will give you that narrative. Will say, well, if black people did this and black people did that, this would happen. If you give a black girl some contraceptives, or you give her this, then the abortion rate. See, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Okay. But they try to make it so that if you're not open-minded and you don't see things differently, then you will always be stuck on that lane, on the Tuckers of the world lane, on the Candace Owens of the world lanes, on the Trump world of the world lane. I said this before. I'm not affiliated with no party. And I can say there's some ideas that I do like in the Republican Party, and there's some ideas that I do like in the Democrat Party, and there's some ideas that I like in the Independent Party. But I'm not gonna sit here and say this is who I want. I got to do Trump then, because Trump is no, he's not. Never was, never will be. The other presidents that were better than him, or Republican presidents that were better than him. You just gotta do your history. You gotta do your research, and you do research, and you will see, and you compare his presidency to other Republican presidency, and he's compared to nothing. But other people don't see that, because he talks. That sounded like English, right? He talks gibberish. He holds no talk. He holds no bars when he's talking, and those are people who talk like that are uneducated people, unfortunately, and he caters to that. And when you have when you have an uneducated group, this is what's going to happen, because they're so lost that when they see something, they say, "Oh, that's it." You know, they could say Trump walked on water, and they're probably trying to walk on water. I saw the sign here in this county that said Donald Trump is bigger than God. That God should bow down to Donald Trump. I saw that. I really wanted to just take that off, only because, not because of the because it said Trump, because they put Trump above God, and that's not even a conservative view. But it is what it is. Something stuck right here. But just look at it from this from that perspective. If your son or daughter was to be stopped, you're gonna say to yourself, "Why did you stop her? Why did you stop him?" Because if you're white and your son and daughter is hanging out with Hispanics or blacks, chances of them getting stopped is big. So, you know, like I said, if until something like that happens to you, you don't know. You know, just put yourself in someone's shoes. What if this happened to my kid? Don't say this is not going to happen because my kid is white. Don't say that. But say, what if this happened to my kid? What would I do? How would I feel? That's the way I see it. Okay? Why is this happening? This is happening today in America because there's so much division. Because with one person, you know who it is. You know, one person, and that person caters to the uneducated individuals of the United States of America. And it's a shame. It's a shame. You know, I was talking about this. I was thinking about this just a few minutes ago. You know, we parade the 4th of July. We celebrate the 4th of July as if the independence of America. But people don't seem to realize that 400 years ago or 500 years ago, this country had Native Americans. This country had Mexicans, because you see most of Texas and New Mexico, all that was owned by Mexico. Through the Spanish War and through the War of England, whatever it may be. You know, these people, the Native American and the Mexicans, they were killed, they were murdered, they were raped. Famine came upon them, and this land was not founded. This land was taken. Okay, this land was taken. And when you see a white person saying, "Go back to Africa, go back to your country," they don't seem to realize that for the past 400 years, 500 years, the black people are in their country. This is their country because they were taken from Africa, and not just only to here to the United States of America, but to broad parts of the world. And they were enslaved. The British were. I mean, the United States wasn't the only one that enslaved people. They came from Britain, but the English put black people in all corners of the world. Okay, Chinese people were slaves. Irish people were slaves. But I'm talking about here in America. So they take them from America, they bring them here, they enslave them, and then they say, "Go back to your country." They are in their country. Because you made it their country, all right? Who made this country livable? For you to eat, for you to have clothes? Black people, because they were the ones that slaved themselves, and they busted their ass, the cornfields, to do this, to do that, to work the fields. Who did the trains? And who did the buildings? Who did the skyscrapers? Immigrants, when they came from Italy, and they came from Europe, and they came from Ireland. Even black people was working on the rails, right? Immigrants. So to say, "Go back to your country," that is so naive and that is so stupid. It's just ridiculous, you know. And you know, we need to establish boundaries here. And then we're going back to the officers, between officers and citizens. This above the law, that's gotta stop. This above us all, this me being a cop, I'm better than you. I'm better than you because I'm an officer and what I say is right. No, it's gotta stop. Judges have to start making the right decision. District attorneys or attorney generals need to start making decisions on how they prosecute cases. Okay, The law needs to be applied to everyone. And this immunity for police officers has to stop. It really does. It has to stop now. It has to stop soon, because you cannot go on like this. You know, one officer is abusing a person, and all officers who are there, they don't do anything. So if you're going to charge one officer, you charge him more, like you did in the Derek Chauvin case. You know, but this has to stop. Stop saying, go back to your country. Stop saying, boy, want to fight me with the motherfuckers on handcuffs. All right? Stop doing things that you think you're better than everybody else because you're an officer. You have a gun and a badge. That's not the way it is. That's not the way it was. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And as long as you keep doing this, people are going to retaliate. And it's going to come a point where, unfortunately, officers are not going to be safe in the streets. Because those same people that Donald Trump brought over, those uneducated people that you brought over, you're going to get yourself some angry, uneducated people also who are going to do the wrong thing and going to start doing stupid shit just because they saw this white cop do something stupid. So in their mind, they're going to say, we cannot, instead of protesting, do it amicably. They're doing it because even if you protest, sometimes protesting is not even worth it. But you have to, because it's your right. And your voice is heard. But this person is going to say, this white cops are just killing us. Wow. And this uneducated person is going to say to themselves, I'm going to start shooting cops. And you don't want that. You don't want an armed, uneducated, white or black person. You don't want that. So it's time for us to stop thinking as me, and start thinking as we. Who gives a shit if Biden is president or Trump is president? It doesn't matter. What matters is that someone is there in the presidency and someone is there and that person has to do his or her job. All right? Just if you see a video that I'm going to put on later on, you're going to see a video where this senator says, all we have to do, a Republican senator said, all we have to do is for the next 18 months is slow down. That they'll put anything in the books until December 2022, because they think that they're going to take over the Senate and they're going to take over the House of Representatives, so they can take the floor. So this is their agenda. To slow down for the next 18 months or anything that the Democrats say until they have power. Now, is that American to you? Do you actually think that's American to you? So here you are, you're voting for these people to be in office to represent you. And then here comes this person who's not representing you, he's representing the party, not representing you, he's representing a party, and say we need to slow this down for the next 18 months, not get anything passed. Now, is that American to you? No, because you voted that person in to represent you, to represent the community, not to represent a party. That's not what this is about. Yes, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're independent, you're in a party, but you're supposed to represent your constituents, not your party. That's not the way it works. And we need the other day, some Republican senators said that they're close to doing a law reform. This should have been done months ago, but it has not been done. So let's see what law reform they're coming up with. They said this Republican said they are bipartisan, so they're going to come together. So they said they're real close to that, both Republicans and Democrats. So let's see. But we need this abuse of officers to stop. Okay. Did he have the right to stop him? Yeah, because he was zigzagging. But did he have the right to search his car? No. Like I said, we have one gun less off the street. Maybe we have one less person that's bad off the street. We don't know. I'm not going to judge. But there is a way to do things. That's what the law is for. There's that's the correct way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do it. Because this right here, with a good lawyer, can get thrown out of this can get thrown out of court easily because of probable cause. Okay, I knew of a man who went, and I'm not lying to you, went from New York all the way to Boston, got caught on I-95 close to Massachusetts. I mean, close to Boston. It was in Massachusetts. the state trooper stopped him. Right? They stopped him because someone called, said that he had drugs. They found him with 2 keys of cocaine. With 2 keys of cocaine. Arrested him, took him to court. He got to pay the attorney. They dropped the case. Why? Because the man, he was Mirandarized, but he was not Mirandarized in Spanish. And because he didn't understand English, and the officer should have Mirandarized him in Spanish, he got thrown out of court. Is that some bullshit? But that's the way it is. The bullshit also is, there was a woman like 20 years ago, back in the 90s, who got raped in Central Park. Okay? And it went to court. And what happened? They found them not guilty because, now check this out. Now this is how fucked up the law is. They found him not guilty because before he raped her, she told him, please put on a condom because I don't want to catch anything. And because she said that, the jury said not guilty because she gave her consent when she said put on a condom. You tell me, is that justice or what? Only in America.